Jack Boomers, what's going on out there? Welcome back to my channel. Look what Santa Claus brought today. I can't believe it. If you guys saw my latest video, we had the dry fire with the Barnett Raptor FX. And the house is under construction. We got lots of boxes everywhere. The kids moved in on Wednesday. We got full boxes. We got construction boxes. We got empty move boxes. I didn't expect to see this. Now, I've never done an unboxing before, so this is a very first for me. This, believe it or not, I sent this after the dry fire we experienced. I sent this back to Barnett, and they received it Wednesday morning. This must have been sitting downstairs yesterday, so in less than 3 days or 4 days, including UPS ground, it says that they replaced arrow retainer broken, replaced a broken string on the riser, replaced axles, qualified new cables, new string installed. Wow, it's pretty impressive. Special hats off to customer service rep Supreme, Avery Jerry. She was just simply amazing. So there's my Raptor FX. They left the caulking rope that my cousin Tony has installed here. This will be the screw that will put the so it looks like they did everything here, right? I mean, the limbs weren't cracked or broken. Looks like they put a little grease or something on here. This apparently must be a little test bolt. I've never seen one of these. Oh, that's what you maybe it's called a small decaulking bolt. But anyhow, this is very, very exciting. We're going to spend some time putting it back together again. New string, new stretcher, new cams. It's as if I got a brand new. It's as if I got a brand new bow. So anyhow, stay tuned while I put this thing back together again. And we'll be back at you. Maybe we'll even test it out back. My wife doesn't like me shooting in the yard, but we can make an exception. Just so you can see, the box is a perfect box. I mean, it was nicely nestled in there with the bubble wrap. I wish we had room to save this box if I ever had to send one back to the factory again. And I'm guessing they did this at no extra cost to me, which is pretty spectacular. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take some time to assemble this. We'll be back to you. Alright, so we're back here again doing this. Hopefully I have this thing up high enough. I'm going to raise it a little bit. Obviously some fairly common sense take place here. The string and the stretcher and all these things go on top. Now, I think I put this on wrong. No, I don't think so. I think it is on right. It just seems a little bit high. So before I go any further, I'm going to stop. We're going to look online. We're going to make sure we put this on the right way. I believe I have this on correctly. It looks right. It's just the string appears a little bit high here. So before I get too far along in this thing, although this is resting comfortably on this, and these are straight, their labels are straight, so this actually has to be the way it goes. Alright, so I'm using my famous gun screwdriver set. Before I cock this thing, before I sock it down too hard, I used to sell these on the gun show circuit years ago. I don't know if there's a certain amount of torque. I just think you have to do it until it's secure. I can't get the bit out now. Alright, so we'll take a pair of pliers from the Leatherman here. And yep, gonna take a pair of vice grips. Alright, so it is back together again. Everything is sitting nice and tightly here. We'll lube up the rail. We'll try cocking it and dry firing it. I may actually take it to a bow shop range just so they can let me experiment with this. But it's back in time for deer season for sure. Turkey season ended already. Alright, that's all, fans. Once again, if you guys are looking for a crossbow, Barnett's not my sponsor. Probably the best customer service I've seen in a long time. Alright? Take care now. Alright, boomers. I'm back at you here again. We do have the Barnett Raptor completely reassembled. I actually had to make a phone call, FaceTime call with my cousin Tony, who's the crossbow expert. I think he owns about 9 or 10. He has this same model actually, but he also has a number of others, including the CP400. But this cross string has to go on the rail underneath. When you're making the cock, the string gets drawn back, locked in here, and then there's the safety will automatically engage once the string touches this mechanism. So we're ready to go. I'm ready to test this, and we'll let you know how that goes as well. Good afternoon, boomers. Welcome back to my channel. This is the Barnett Raptor FX. This was the one we experienced the dry fire with. And I may have already mentioned we sent this out to the factory a week ago Monday via UPS. They received it on a Wednesday. And on Friday, it was back at my home, completely restored. Brand new string, new cams. And I'm not even the original owner of this crossbow yet. Barnett was good enough to be able to set this thing up for me, and really at no charge whatsoever, which was phenomenal. Hopefully you can hear this. I do have the wind detector on. We're going to cock this, except this time we're not going to forget to put an arrow or a bolt in this mechanism. My cousin Tony has equipped this thing in such a way that the string is automatically attached. You kind of have to lift up the string just a bit, put the rollers against the rail, and be careful to pull all the way up and listen for that click when you get that second click. Now, because he has this thing arranged this way, I'm going to be careful to tuck this back in this pouch, keep it out of the way. Now, the very first thing I'm going to do, always be careful to keep your hands below the rail. I'm going to shoot an older arrow, one of the older arrows from my other Barnett. I'm going to put that carefully in here, make sure that it goes all the way back and secures against the safety. Now, the safety does click off, which means that this thing is ready to fire. I am going to let you see this. Safety does go off. That means that the string, the arrow is sufficiently up against. And I think I need to rearrange this thing a little bit. Well, it would help if I turned it around, right, folks? Because the yoke in the front is designed specifically to accommodate a crossbow, right? Now, to play it safe, you could put your fingers down here well below the rail, or even safer, operate the bow back this far. So I'm going to shut the safety off. I'm going to aim for that, and I'm not going to actually show you hitting the target. Why, it does make a noise, doesn't it? Let's go down and take a peek. Let's zoom into that target and see where she hit. I think that we're going to have to install some type of it looks like it landed a little bit to the left. I'm going to go take a look. up a little bit higher. All right, so it did hit a little bit high. I'm going to pull back out to this crossbow, and we're going to recock it now. We're going to recock it and refire another arrow. I'm going to send a little bit better arrow downstream this time, just to see if there's any differential whatsoever. Once again, go through a formal procedure. Always go through the same steps every time so you never make a mistake. Now the factory tells me you should have these the other way, facing the other way. My cousin and a few other experts tell me no, it's better to have it this way. So we're going to pull all the way up, make sure we get a double click, disconnect the two cords. Once again, stick them in my pouch so they're safely out of the way. Alright, safely out of the way. I'm not going to obstruct with anything. We're going to use one that came with the package, what it was given to me. I haven't weighed it. I don't know how much it weighs. I'm assuming it meets all the standards. Custom Barnett, Easton, 20-inch. Remember, you put the odd colored fletch down. We're going to run the odd colored fletch down. Make sure it seats all the way once again. Test the safety. The safety does go off. You won't possibly get a dry fire. And I'm going to place this up safely on the... we're going to aim for the same target now, and I'm going to put it downfield so you can see it. Should get a better target out of the shed, but it is really hot right now, and I'm just going to stay focused on this. All right, we're going to fire at that same target at 25 yards. But once again, you're going to make sure we have all our hands clearly out of the way. And we're going to precisely aim for the center using the vane. And once again, it does make a whack out there, so let's go see where it hit. So that one did it a little bit lower, but it was still high from the bullseye. In all intents and purposes, I'm going to try one more arrow, and then I think we're going to call it quits for today, because I'd like to, when it gets a little cooler, I'd like to try the same arrows at 35 or 40 yards and see where they're hitting. That was the top crosshairs, not the second one down below. And it's certainly in the vital area, but it's still a shade high. So we're going to cock it one more time, send one more different arrow downfield. We're going to send down a headhunter, 20-inch custom Barnett. So this is sufficiently heavy enough of an arrow. It's got the nock in the right position. Formally gets placed against the string, safety, and it goes off. It does go off. So we once again know it's going to shoot, right? It turns out that was a very tight group with both arrows, right, almost touching each other, almost a Robin Hood effect. So you can't be unhappy with that. We're going to call it quits for today, and pick this up when the weather gets a little cooler in a week or so, all right? Stay tuned for the continuing saga of the Barnett Raptor FX.